It is back to school time. Welcome back. As school children all across the metro area are back in school, pediatricians trying to get the word out about making sure your children are protected from, any of the bad stuff, right? We've got to get those vaccines. Nationwide childhood vaccine rates have been on the decline, especially for the shot that protects against measles, mumps, and rubella. So 92.5% of kindergartners got the measles, mumps, rubella shot, down again from the previous year. Pre-pandemic, that was 95%, the level necessary to maintain herd immunity. Joining me now to talk about this, we've got pediatric immunization Dr. Elizabeth Olson, a pediatrician with Ochsner. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Back to school time, I'm always expecting there to be some kind of sickness passed around, something going on. But we see this consistent decline now in these vaccines. What are your thoughts there?
There's always a lot going on back to school. We've been busy with a lot of COVID this week, starting to get some strep, but the things that we can prevent, the measles, mumps, rubella, the chickenpox, the pertussis, whooping cough, those are things we have vaccines for, and so we're really trying to get all the kids in to get caught up if they've fallen behind.
Yeah, of course. And so, what's sort of the recommendation, as mom and dad are trying to make sure they have all of the supply list checked off and all of that, how do you go about making sure the vaccines are up to date?
Well, whenever they come into the clinic, we check and make sure that they're up to date. We'll send out reminders if kids are getting behind. Preschool at 4 years old is when they do a set of catch-up vaccines. It's their last measles, mumps, rubella, their last chickenpox, and their last polio. They also get a tetanus at that visit. And so kids who have missed that preschool visit, we really try to catch up on this time of year to make sure that they're vaccinated before they get back to school.
Absolutely. And what sort of things should mom and dad be looking out for? Obviously they get the runny nose and like the normal stuff when they go back to school and are mixed in with everybody. But when we're talking about, measles, mumps, like what should they notice?
High fevers are the thing we really want to see kids for. High fevers and a rash, high fevers and runny red eyes, those are things that we associate with measles, and we definitely want to see that. But really, any child who's had a fever more than 3 days, we should see them in the clinic.
Okay. And we are talking about, these are preventable with the vaccine, but if a child were to contract, one of these illnesses, what are some serious long-term consequences if, it's not treated? Are there any?
Many. I mean, there are all of the diseases we vaccinate for are diseases that either can end you up seriously in the hospital, ICU, or worse. And many of them are things that really don't have a treatment. And so the idea is get the vaccine, then you don't end up with something that we cannot treat.
For those who are a little nervous, maybe they're just unsure about getting their kids vaccinated, or they don't feel maybe that it's the most important thing, like what would your advice be to them if they're on the fence?
This is always a really hard one. My advice always is come in and talk to a person that you trust. Your pediatrician, your doctor, we're there for you. We're here to give you the most up-to-date information that's based in science. This is so difficult for parents. They are bombarded right now with social media, and I'm just thankful that wasn't there when my kids were little, but it really makes their lives difficult. It's very stressful for them. Every parent wants to do what's right for their children. So the key is finding a pediatrician who you trust and laying out all of your questions so that you can feel the most comfortable that you're doing the best thing for your child.
I think that is a really great point there. And then finally, before we go, we just talked about that herd immunity, needing to get to that 95%. For anyone who's unfamiliar, can you just explain that?
Yeah, what that is basically if you have a certain percentage of people who are vaccinated, then when a disease does come up, it doesn't spread because everybody around that one person is vaccinated. We travel a lot now, and so people can come from other countries where they don't have the luxury of being vaccinated. And they can bring diseases in that as long as we have enough people vaccinated here, we won't spread it around the community.
Okay, and that's that key there. All right, well, thank you for joining us. I know this is sometimes a touchy subject, but we navigated it well and hopefully can give some parents some reassurance on what to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And if you're a parent who is looking for a pediatrician, we have a link to Ochsner's website on our website to make it easy for you to navigate there, WWLTV.com. Just look under the links tab.